What is up, besties? It is your girl, the Karmic DF, back to you again with a pop-up Halloween video. So happy Halloween to all of my besties if you are seeing this when I put it out. But otherwise, we're just going to do something spooky. I wanted to give you a little surprise. I wanted an excuse to dress to impress today, even though later on I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of messy pumpkin gutting. So, you know, whatever. But anyway, today, what we are going to be looking at is the Skinwalker. So I actually didn't know a lot about this. So basically, I'm just going to read to you a synopsis of what I found online, and then we're going to go from there. So apparently in Navajo culture, a Skinwalker is a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into, possess, or even disguise themselves as an animal. The term's never used for healers. Well, I sure as shit don't do that. So yeah, that don't fit me. Yeah, it goes on all fours. Yeah, performing malevolent ceremonies and using manipulative magic in stark contrast to the beneficial works of medicine people. So the opposite of our people. The legend of Skinwalkers is deeply embedded in Navajo tradition. It's partly due to cultural taboos, and we don't have a complete understanding, but stories often depict skinwalkers using their powers for evil. They're considered a source of fear and mystery within Navajo communities. Traditional accounts describe them as powerful sorcerers who, after engaging in various nefarious acts, gain the ability to transform into animals at will. That was via Wikipedia. So for Halloween, to honor Halloween, we gotta do something spooky. So I hope that you guys enjoy this pop-up video. As always, thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. What is up to my besties? Hey, regulars. I hope that you guys have an amazing Halloween. Please make sure that you're celebrating in a way that's beneficial to you. I understand, as someone who's introverted and has healed and has lost a lot of people because I choose quality over quantity, we can still have fun being alone, y'all. So, you know, whether you got to watch a whole bunch of Halloween movies like I plan on doing and carving a pumpkin and having a good old time, just find a way to, you know, in any day of life, period, find a way to make it a wonderful, beautiful day. But without further ado, I don't think there's much more I can cover until we get into the cards. So my besties know what's up next. Subscribe if you haven't already, because next up is our timeless general message meant to find you. You do not have to be spiritual. Just tap into your intuition and go, do I think this could possibly have a message for me? And if something in you tells you to stick around, then chances are there's a message in here for you, bestie. So depending on where I see all of you, either the timeless collective message or in the reading below, or in the timestamps below to get to the reading. And you could book a private reading with me, thekarmicdf.com, also in the description box below. Also know that I am almost done catching up with all of my client readings, which means I'm going to be doing a soft launch of my website if you're seeing this when I put it out. So everybody that's on the wait list will be getting an email from me probably sometime at the end of next week. I should be fully caught up on my readings by then, and I also want a little bit of breathing break. So without further ado, besties, happy Halloween to all of you. I hope that you find a way to enjoy this day however you like and however fits you best. And without further ado, all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, besties, let's get into it. All right, besties, so if you guys stuck around, then this is your general collective timeless message. As always, take what resonates. Do not let the rest take away from you. There are other people that are listening to this, and maybe some of it's not going to fit you. Maybe some of you work on relationships while other of you work on career. So, as always, you know. And if you'd like to book a private reading with me, thekarmicdf.com. Y'all know the spiel by now. And if this resonates, let me know down in the comment section below. But without further ado, Spirit Team, what does the general collective need to hear right now? I keep hearing the song, When Will You Realize Vienna Waits for You. Also, just a reminder, I'm using my Dark Side Skeleton Tarot. You guys know I love this. Some of the besties have already bought this deck. If you want 20% off decks, including this, it'll be in the description box below. All right, besties. Spirit Team, what do they need to hear today? Me and Rihanna shine bright like a diamond. Okay. Spirit team. Okay, so we have the Two of Wands reversed, Queen of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Again, this is giving me like, if you're not spiritual, this might make a little not sense, but it's giving me soul retrieval energy. I feel like some of you are starting to step into your power and just kind of talk your ish. It's like, with that Two of Wands in the reverse next to the Queen of Swords, it's like, I don't really care what type of environment you're going to put me in. If you're going to be disrespectful, it's giving me come correct or don't come at all. With that Ace of Pentacles in the reverse right next to it, the Queen of Swords in the middle is very telling to me. I think some of you guys, if you're spiritual, might have been working on your throat chakra or just learning how to speak your truth. And this is telling me that the work is going to pay off. I also am being called to mention that if you are in a place where you are healing, Spirit might test you to go, are you sure? So if, let's say you're building up your self-worth and you're like, I never want to talk to that dude or chick again. They weren't worth it. And then boom, they're in your inbox. Spirit kind of feels like they might be testing you with that Two of Wands. It kind of gives the illusion of like, you might have some sort of like friction-based conversations of people from the past trying to come back in with the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, or just like, if it's a mindset, maybe old paradigms are playing up in your head. Like maybe you're working on yourself and that negative critic's starting to kind of rear its ugly head. But whatever is going on is for you to be able to see how much you've grown. That's the main message here. Because Knight of Wands in the reverse in the back deck with the Hermit card. Yeah, with Seven of Wands in the reverse. I think you guys have been vulnerable and, which is not a bad thing, sensitive, but it's a good thing. And I think people thought that they could take advantage of you with the Knight of Wands in reverse to end the deck. I think that people saw you as a threat because a knight is obviously going to see a queen as a threat. A knight is not a queen. A knight is not a king. It's a lesser. You know what I mean? And so if the Knight of Wands in reverse is on the back of the deck, I feel like a lot of you have had to defend yourself from people that just need to like pick at you to, yeah, I'm hearing song, I get knocked down, but I get up again. If you're ever going to keep me down. So I feel like that's the energy that you guys are either about to step into or you're currently stepping into, where it's like, I know my worth and I'm going to be charging accordingly. So I feel like this is just a mixture of like Spirit going, yeah, I'm hearing, bitch, you doing a good job, bitch, you doing a good job. So you're doing a good job. But there might be some sort of people, because look at how on this Two of Wands, it's like he's kind of peeking out. And I'm hearing the song Waiting on the World to Change. So again, I think you had people that was like, carry me, and didn't know how to grow. So as you're growing, they might come back and like put on a ruse is what I'm hearing. So keep an eye out for gaslighting and love bombing. Were they around when you were struggling? No. So why are they going to be here for your come up? Fuck them. You know what I mean? Because where were they? Yeah, I'm hearing the song, where were you when everything was falling apart? So again, I think it's almost like when you guys need somebody, where the fuck is everybody else? Because it's like, I almost wonder if people see you as like the life of the party or just someone where it's like your energy is very contagious and infectious. But when you're not on, no one's to be found, or only a select few people are to be found. And so you're getting into this place where it's like, well, I'm not the problem because I know that I show up. So I'm going to start talking my shit. And if you don't like it, maybe you should adjust how you're behaving, because I know that I don't have problems with people unless they're disrespectful to me. So if we're going to have an issue, it's because you're creating the issue, and I'm not going to be taking accountability for that. You guys are really stepping into your fuck around and find out energy. I think the past, it depends, because I feel a spectrum. Like some of you might be stepping into this and releasing the old, whereas some of you, that's so weird. My phone is bugging out over there for no reason. I don't know if that's Spirit just being like, hey, it's me, I'm here. But I feel like a lot of you have been tested in the past where people just kind of push your boundaries, took your kindness as weakness. And I'm being drawn to like all of the dead skulls and stuff, which is reminding me of like the inner critic and ghosts from the past that kind of live in our head rent free. And it's like, you're cutting through the bullshit. So keep an eye out for people that might be like, see, because I'm being drawn to like the castle on this card. They might see the fruits of your labor. So like you could be working on yourself internally. You could be building a business. You could be, you know, just focused on bettering yourself, and people can sense that. And so they're going to come in But notice how the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse, which means it's not really an offer. It's kind of giving it this energy of like, what's in it for me? I think whoever and whatever plan on coming back into your life, they're testing the waters to see if you're actually changed or if you're the version that they enjoyed where they could kind of walk all over or disrespect, or because I feel like you guys are kind of like glass half full, like I understand why you behave that way, I get trauma, but it's like they don't show you that same empathy. They don't show up for you on your hard days. They're not there for you. And I think a lot of you are realizing it because I'm hearing cutting ties. So depending again where you are on this spectrum, whoever you're cutting off, Spirit's saying it will be replaced with bigger and better. So if we had to cut off friends, family, lovers, what we're bringing in is better because we're modeling to the universe that we want better and so we deserve it. And you speaking your shit, especially out loud, like own that shit. I deserve the best. I'm not going to settle. That's going to put in motion for you bigger and better. But like the universe always works, they will test you before you step into a new chapter of your life. Did you mean what you say? Are you really going to settle or step up? And so I think Spirit's going, this is like a double message here where it's like, you're doing an incredible job. I just heard you're doing amazing, sweetie. But at the same time, we are going to be throwing you a couple of tests to see if you meant what you said, to see if you're going to stand on 10 toes and speak your truth. So I think a couple of you might get tested by somebody or someone. This could be like an ex coming back, like out of nowhere since you're doing good, and then like trying to bring you back into their orbits, kind of the vibe. Yeah, Four of Pentacles. Keep your energy to yourself. Focus on yourself. The High Priestess. Yeah, I think this is just a warning because some of you might ignore your intuition and kind of lean towards your heart. Like, well, maybe they've changed or maybe they're willing to be what I need. But I just heard the song, It's All the Same, only the names have changed. So keep an eye out. Yeah, Eight of Wands. If it feels like it's difficult, it's because it's not meant for you. Kind of in life in general. I mean, obviously, like obstacles create endurance. But when it comes to connections, if it's difficult, if your communication is not going through, if there's like a language barrier, that's not just because you speak different languages. It's the universe going, hey, you've outgrown this. So give yourself a pat on the back and remove these people, places, and things that no longer serve you because you will be tested. But I do feel like as long as you listen to your intuition and don't let them pull on your kindness. Yeah, because I'm hearing don't mistake my kindness for weakness. I think a lot of people have had to deal with that in this group. So just remember that if old is coming in, it's just to test you to go, are you sure or are you ready to accept better in your life? So again, if we're releasing relationships that don't fulfill us and then an ex comes out of nowhere or an ex-friend, it's the universe going, are you sure you meant what you said? You want more, right? So you better turn this down. You better use that throat chakra and say what you need to say. And as long as you do that, bigger and better is coming in for you, bestie. So I'm going to leave it here. If you want to book a private reading to dive into this further, then thekarmicdf.com in the description box. But I'm going to leave it here, bestie. It sounds like you guys are doing amazing. I'm hearing the song, Nothing Can Stop Me. I'm all the way up. So don't let anybody get in the way of your growth. If they were meant to be a part of your chapter, it shouldn't feel like oil and water. You know what I mean? And they should have been there for you when times are tough. People that don't respect your boundaries benefit from you not having any. So if people come back right now, do not accept crumbs. You know you're worth the whole cake. So I'm going to leave this here. Let me know down in the comment section below if this resonated, if you guys enjoy these general messages still. But without further ado, let's get into the other part of this video. Is the Antichrist real? And if not, if there's anything we could figure out, all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, besties. Let's get into it. It's not the Antichrist. It's Skinwalker. I'm going to leave this in. Happy Halloween, besties. Love you guys. All right, besties. So we are going to take a look into this mythology. Are Skinwalkers real? What is the origin and all of that? So before I dive into it real quick, I want to give a shout out to one of my besties because after I filmed the intro, I received this in the mail. So look at this gorgeous new, I have a really big thing for like space. I told y'all I went to school for science. I wanted to study astronomy. So look how beautiful this is. And of course she wrote a little note. Gotta hide her name real quick. I hope you are feeling better. My newest bestie from Kelly. So thank you so much, Kelly. I truly appreciate the love and support from all of you. You guys are absolutely incredible. I really appreciate that you guys go out of your way to do these kind things for me. I love you guys so much. So without further ado, I did watch some videos just to kind of get myself educated to this stuff and to add a little bit more. Apparently, this is Native American folklore that they don't like talking about, where allegedly witches or warlocks will sell their soul for immortality so that they can shape shift. They can become things like a werewolf, a coyote, a crow, a raven, an eagle, etc. Apparently, they wear the skin of the animal. It actually reminds me of the Wendigo video I did, which was very spooky. So if you guys want to keep on with the spooky, I'll link it in the description box. But apparently, they have to do a ritual sacrifice and take a life to become one. And apparently they can read your mind if you keep eye contact with you long enough, and they can inhabit your mind. So this shit's creepy as fuck. So this is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, besties. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. And if you're new here, smash that subscribe button, bestie, because we're going to be covering everything. Like I said, I got a whole ass list of things I want to cover this year, next year, and all the upcoming. So without further ado, let's start with Dark Mirror. All right, so we're going to get into Dark Mirror. Let's take a look. Is there any validity, and what do we need to know? Downcast Pride. Falling in the storm. Fated to suffer. Wait a second. Atonement. Hold on, because this could read two ways. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting a story. We're obviously going to need the tarot. When do we not? This reads to me like someone who was feeling cast out, feeling ostracized, feeling like I don't matter. Yeah, I'm hearing the song Creep. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. And then Calling in the Storm is like problems coming to me. I'm not the problem. Problems are coming to me, and I can't make it stop. And I think it's just everybody around whoever this person is with that 3, because that reminds me of like networking and collaborating with people. And then it's like, this is where I almost wonder if it could be true, because with Fated to Suffer, this would be like a story of like let's say there's a witch, right? Like actually a witch, and they're doing the goblins and casting the spells and whatever, not actually doing you know what I mean? The thing whatever. But they felt shame. They felt like they were ostracized from like a community or something. And then it's almost like someone gives them an offer that they can't refuse. It's reminding me a lot of the celebrity culture shit that we're seeing today, where it's like, sign on this dotted line, don't ask questions. Like that's kind of the vibe here. It's reminding me of my favorite show, Grimm. It's on Prime Video. If you're into fantasy stuff, you would really like it if you're into that. But there's something here where it's like, I felt, this might be like where it originated, because there's a person here, it kind of feels like a female energy, and it's like, I felt ostracized. I felt like people were judging me, and I'm also being drawn to the fact that they look kind of mythical in this. Like, look, it got like fairy ears and stuff. So I feel like whoever this person was might have looked different, because I'm seeing, oh my God, that guy in the movie, Hunchback Notre Dame. So I feel like this person either like looked weird, acted weird, and then it's like, if someone that was taking advantage of that situation. Like here, I got the antidote. So I kind of need to pull more before I can say, because this tells me like the origin story. All right, Spirit, what else? Self-sacrifice. Is this fucking true? Oh, I got the chills. I don't want to be nice anymore. I don't want to be trapped anymore. I gotta pull the tarot to see if there's legit to this, but this reads to me like the story of someone who did in fact sacrifice somebody so that they didn't have to be trapped. This could be someone who felt weird. You know what it's reminding me of? I'm being drawn to Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth, and neither of them were necessarily broken or anything. I mean, I'm sure they got their own shit, but like a person like Liam can't be with a person like Miley, right? Like I've tried to date a normal person. We just don't blend well. It's like oil and water. And I feel like whoever this person, the story originates from, they felt like they were ostracized from their community. They felt like they were ostracized from their spouse. They felt like they were judged. And so it's like they met somebody who offered them, I keep hearing, I'm going to offer you something you can't refuse. Like that Italian mafia shit. So maybe it's like a mafia deal. And I do feel there is some validity in terms of there might have been a ritualistic type of sacrifice, because it's like, I almost wonder if this person like killed their spouse or something. This almost feels to me like someone who was like, fuck it, I'm miserable anyway, I'll take your deal. I feel like this does originate from some semblance of truth so far. We got someone here that definitely sacrificed someone else. Because it's like, I've been the nice guy for too long. I'm tired of it. I've been trapped. And then look, it's a bride that's in a cage, but it's in reverse. So it's like, in order for me to take the evil apple, I get released from my entrapment. So, and then 2 and 1 reminds me of 3, which is Jupiter, which is expansion. So again, it's like whoever this person originally was, that's how they felt. Trapped, like a shell of themselves, like they were misunderstood. And yeah, I'm hearing Neo Miss Independent. So it's like whoever this person was, they couldn't take that they felt like they were, like it's giving me 50s housewife, and it's like, I don't want to be controlled by my husband. I don't want to be controlled. It's like if Miley Cyrus tried to exist back in the 50s, like they would have not liked who she was. Like that's kind of the energy so far. So the origin story feels like it's got some legitimacy. What's the back deck? Atonement. This is like, I don't feel bad. I almost wonder if someone became addicted to the craft to the point that they kind of became delusional in their own right. Like that reads more to me than, you know what it's reminding me of is like all those movies where someone gets obsessed with evil to the point that they become evil, but it's not necessarily that they're doing like crazy, I'm shape-shifting shit. It's more like, again, it's like, you know how like when you're already in the darkness, it consumes you? Think about an addict, right? Like you just fall further and further down. I almost wonder if someone who was into the craft a long time ago in this Navajo culture kind of got consumed with it and felt like their life in general was already too much. So it's like, I'll become the villain. I'll do the bad things. I don't give a fuck as long as it gets me out of the situation that I'm currently in. That's kind of the vibe here, especially because my regulars know these always remind me of the Ten of Swords. So if they're upright, it's like, I want to get out of this situation. So I do think that the origin of the story stems from like a woman who played in witchcraft and was fed up with a marriage and a environment that didn't support them. I just keep hearing creep. And I'm also hearing zombie from Cranberries. What's in your head? I feel like they judged whoever this woman was. And it's like, think about how swords are thoughts and words, right? So it's like this woman's keep getting berated by like, oh, she's a witch. She's that. Like I'm being drawn to Monty Python where it's like, she's a witch. And it's like, if you weigh her with a duck and she weighs more than she's a witch. Like I feel like whatever this time period was, they weren't rational. They were grandiose, you know what I mean? And so I feel like she was taking on the words of other people. This would be like a modern day, like One of Us, but if back in the day, and they practiced out loud. And so it became, I almost wonder if there was no type of like shape shifting at first, but it was just a woman scorned that like offed her husband because he was mean to her anyway. And then someone was like, I can help you. I can save you. I see you. And it's like, what else do I have to do? I almost wonder if this is like a hitman or something because it almost feels like I can get you out of this. So that's what I'm getting so far from Dark Mirror, but I got to go into the cards before, because I don't see anything really about like shape shifting or anything. It feels like a deal that I took because I couldn't take being judged and ostracized anymore. But let's see if there's any validity to crazy stuff that can happen because of it. You know what's funny is I always shuffle off camera to save you all time, and I'll just space out because that's pretty much what I'm good for anyway. And all of a sudden I just went, sometimes I feel like a stranger in town and I've lost what I found. It'll all turn around. So I'm telling you, there's something about whoever this story originates from. It feels like a woman that practiced witchcraft and felt judged. But let's look at the cards first. All right, so let's let's dive into the cards. As always, thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button, bestie. You don't want to miss out. And let me know what y'all are doing for Halloween. I can't wait to hear what you guys are coming up with. Maybe you're handing out candy. Maybe you're going to do like me and just create your own fun. But I'd love to hear what you guys are doing in the comments, so let me know. All right. Is there any truth to this? What do we need to know, Spirit Team? Starting a new beginning and running away. Look, there's a woman running away. I feel like I'm ousted. This is all about a woman. The story origin is about a woman. I'm telling you. Grief that I can't accept. Seeing things for what they really are. This isn't fair. Again, this just fucking piggybacks on what I said. This is the origin story. This is where it began. There was a woman that felt trapped. She needed a new beginning. You know, this is reminding me of that J-Lo movie where she's running away from her husband who's abusive. So I almost wonder if the guy could have been abusive. I'm getting a nod. So I almost wonder if wherever this story originates, I feel like I'm butchering that, the woman was either... She was definitely verbally abused, because I'm being drawn to my fool's gold as well, which is like all that glitters isn't gold. So I do feel like there was a woman that felt trapped in her relationship and also felt judged. I almost wonder if he like used her, because this is also reminding me when we do the crime shit about like who's the boogeyman under your bed, who's taking you out of your bed. So I almost feel like this woman felt like she was trapped and there was no way forward. Block of ideas and regrets. This isn't working. I almost wonder if at the time that this was going down, there might have been whispers of like, this is what you can do. But honestly, it feels to me like it was, I feel like it might have been an idea that didn't pan off, because that Ace of Swords reverse reminds me of like sacrifice. And it's reminding me of how like a lot of the fantasy shows I watch, they'll like cut the middle of their hand to like pour out the blood. So I do feel there was some sort of ritualism that she did, the woman, to kind of get herself a new life and also to screw over the husband at the time. Again, especially with him coming out as a King of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like this guy was like maybe a leader. Maybe he was important, like of prominence is what I'm hearing. So like maybe he would have been your modern day one of the politicians or something like that. And it's like, I want you to fall and I want people to see you for what you are, and I'm willing to do anything to make that happen. Like that's kind of the vibe here. So I feel like she got an idea where it was like, let me cut myself, pour some blood in the event of screwing up like your work endeavors or how you climb to the top, so that you're always stuck. Like this almost feels like a woman that it's giving lover scorned and practicing some form of ritual. I feel like, why the house, Spirit? This would be like chanting or like trying to manifest with my words while I'm in the house, like maybe using things in the house to try and get it. This reads not much like animalistic. This reads more like trying to fuck over someone's husband. Family, I'm telling you. It's like whoever this woman is that this all started from, I'm hearing pink in our family portrait. We look pretty happy. We look pretty normal, which is alluding to like what people see is this humble, put together guy that's got all of this emotional empathy, but it's like behind closed doors, Knight of Wands reversed. He's aggressive. He's mean. And I think that maybe this woman might have read a mythology book or two, because again, I'm being drawn back to the show Grimm, but it doesn't feel like I'm shape-shifting. It's almost like, what if I almost wonder if this woman was willing to do anything, because I keep hearing Imagine Dragons, whatever it takes. So again, I'm not feeling anything in terms of like we actually did shapeshift. I feel a woman trying to do anything possible to knock this man off his throne. I am being drawn to the bats though. So again, I'm going to be honest. I don't feel like this is, I don't feel like she ended up shape-shifting. What did she end up doing, Spirit? Magician. Knight of Cups. Okay. Emotional growth. Illusion. I almost wonder if she, like... This would be like... How do I word this? This sounds so weird. I'm like channeling, so it's hard. When this happens, what I usually do behind the camera is I'll close my eyes and just like lean into my subconscious. So give me a second. This feels like, I almost wonder if she lied. Like this is kind of giving me like, I did try a sacrifice and I feel like she talked to somebody on the woods. Like I'm being drawn back to the card Fated to Suffer, and I'm seeing her like walking down a trail in the woods being sad, and then someone approaching her. So I feel like someone saw it as an opportunity and approached her, gave her this idea. I see them handing her a book. I don't know if that's metaphorical or literal. And it's like, I'm looking into witchcraft mythology because I'm already practicing some form of witchcraft. I've heard of sacrifices. Let me bleed a little and try something. but nothing's working. That's kind of the vibe here. It's almost like, you know, when we're told to do witchcraft stuff and nothing crazy really happens. And so I almost wonder if she kind of put it into her own hands, because I keep being drawn to all these animal symbologies with the bird. So I almost wonder if, like, because I keep seeing it and I can't ignore it. I almost wonder if she, like, caught birds and unleashed them into their house or something, or said, like, I'm turning myself into a bird, and then, like, found a bird. Like, it's almost like she's trying to make the husband paranoid. Does that make sense with that magician card? It's like, I'm going to knock you down a peg. I'm going to make you fear from your vulnerabilities with the strength card in reverse. Because notice how the king is going to the knight. So it's like, if I create an illusion, it's giving me Houdini vibes, and Houdini didn't make real magic. So it's like, I wonder if she, like, unleashed a bird onto him and said, that was me, watch out. Like, that's kind of how this feels, like trying to scare the fuck out of a guy because I feel like I'm stuck. That's what this reads to me like. Spirit team, is there anything to do with, like, shape-shifting? Like, is there any person that shape-shifts? I don't... No, I'm gonna go with no. I feel like this is a woman that practiced witchcraft, and her husband treated her like shit, and she felt trapped, and it's like, well, what can I do to fuck with his psyche since he fucks with mine? That's how it reads to me. This will be like, we had a lot of issues. We fought all the time. You treat me like shit. The public eye does not see you for who you are. You don't grow up. And again, I'm being drawn to all these bird imagery. So I feel like that's where part of it came from. Because I almost see her trying to do, like, crazy shit. Like, I feel like it's more metaphorical to get me to, like, understand it. But I'm seeing someone, like, putting a leash on a wolf and then bringing it to their house. Like, I don't know that that the shape-shifting's true. I'm going to be honest. I don't think a human can shape-shift, if I'm being real with you. Just because you bleed a little. I mean, we all bleed, right? We could just fall over tomorrow and then, boom, we're bleeding. That doesn't turn us into a werewolf, you know what I mean? But, again, check out the Wendigo video if you want something creepier. Because this reads more to me like a woman that was dedicated to making people see who this man is. You know what it's reminding me of? Thank you, Spirit. Have you ever seen the end of Matilda where everybody's, like, throwing shit at the principal to the point that she's paranoid and she leaves? That's the vibe. It's like trying to freak out the leader so that he's as scared as I am. It's giving me tit for tat energy so that people see you for what you really are, an ineffective leader. That's the vibe. And a control freak that traps women while he celebrates off their backs. Like, this would be like your modern day, like, a man works and then expects the woman to do literally everything else and then resents her and takes his day out on her. Like, I feel like he was abusive, verbally and physically. And I think she leaned into some form of, like, a witchcraft book, tried a few things and it didn't work. But I think she was the type where it's like, I'm going to show you. And it's like, I'm going to turn into a fucking werewolf and I'm going to eat you to death. And it's like, I didn't turn into a werewolf. What else can I do? And it's like, I feel like she went into the woods and, like, tried to grab animals and, like, put it in the house. That's kind of the vibe. Because notice how this kind of looks like a barn. So it's like, I feel like she tried to do weird shit to scare her husband. This would be like catching a coyote in the woods and then putting it at your doorstep and then not being at the house for a week and then making your husband think it's you. Like, that's kind of the energy here. I'm kind of living for it because this woman was like, yeah, I'm hearing Mary J, no more drama. It's like, I don't want to do this shit no more. And this also reminds me of, like, the details. So it's like you're not seeing what's going on in home life, not history repeating itself. This was some sort of leader back in the day, and this was the wife of a leader back in the day who wanted to... Why does comeuppance... There's someone on my spirit team that really loves the word comeuppance, and I really don't understand it, but okay. Anything to do with shape-shifting at all, spirit team, speak now or forever hold your peace. This is more like the passing down of information over time, and again, the game of telephone, right? I think that some mythology really is mythology, whereas there's some shit that is considered fiction that's true. This is not one of those things where it's true. It has an origin point, but I don't think the woman was actually... Because on the Fated to Suffer card, you always get stuck with the rotten apple, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh my God, you got a gem and now you're going to win in life, fated to suffer. So it's like, I feel like someone told her, you can do this, that, and the third, and gave her something. And it's like, try this. but I think like she started to go crazy because of him. Like I'm being drawn to like, you know, Gypsy Rose going crazy and killing her mom, and the Mendez brothers going crazy and killing their parents. So I feel like that's kind of the energy this woman was in, where it's like, I feel trapped. There's nothing else for me to do. Yeah, I think that whoever she was with was verbally abusive, but on the outside, because think of it, Knight of Swords is always the hero. And then again with the birds, I'm telling you, like, I almost wonder, because they say if you, like, I don't think she shapeshift. However, there could be something here about mastering telepathy. I could see that. Because I just keep being drawn back to the birds, and I'm like, I'm not getting the bird reference. I do feel like she might have caught like a coyote or something and put it in the house. Like I feel like she was petty like that, which awesome, good for you, girl. But I think there's something here about, because I know this, we can all tap into telepathy. I know this is gonna sound nuts, but I can talk to my dog. I know when she's not okay. I know when she needs something. It's just a knowing. So I almost wonder if this woman like tapped into telepathy. Like I wouldn't be shocked if her spirit animal was a crow, and that's why I use this, because it's almost like, because I keep seeing Snow White in my mind's eye. Oh, this was reversed. Let me make sure I don't forget that. I almost wonder if like she could get birds to work for her. But I wouldn't even know how that would work. I don't think that there's no shape-shifting here. I don't see anything where you can actually change your body. Because like, I would have seen that by now. On Grimm, that literally happens. They shapeshift on Grimm. I don't see it. If anything, I could see her talking to the birds and them like answering in some way. But I just don't, we can't do that. So I don't really know how to, Spirit, can you give me more on that? You know what it's reminding me of? Do you remember Home Alone and how they put all that gookie shit on the bad guys, which attracted the birds? I almost wonder if it was something like that. Yeah, this got lost in translation to make it like a scare tactic, which cool, whatever. But this is like a lover scorned, and I'm doing everything in my power to use the animals to attack my husband and fear and create fear in him so he knows what it's like. It's very tit for tat. Especially if you're a leader and you think you're seeing shit, right? Like imagine if you're a leader and you're like, my wife turned into a coyote. You're gonna be removed. You know what I mean? So I think she was trying to scare him. I think she could like, there's something with birds. I think she can work with birds. I just don't understand how that plays out. But then I keep being drawn back to Home Alone. So like maybe she was putting shit on this guy to make the birds drawn to him. I could see it being like that with that Ace of Pentacles. It's like, it's reminding me of all the movies where it's like, here, babe, have this drink. And there's something in it. Like, it's like she was setting him up. It's giving like high stakes gotcha. You know what I mean? Yeah, because she didn't want to do this anymore. Look at how the weight is on this woman. And then again, what do we know about people that are witches back in the day, right? Oh my God, you're so powerful and dangerous. Blah, 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 blah. So I think she was also trying to avoid that, going backwards to what I said before, how she felt like she was ostracized. So I almost wonder if she like moved into the woods or spent her time in the woods, because I keep being drawn to the woods. And I feel like that's where she met someone that was like, here, try this. Like, I feel like she'd either run away to the woods or she had like a side house that she created in the woods, because it's like, I don't feel safe where I'm at. I feel like she was abused by her spouse. Definitely verbally, but it could have been physically too. And it's like, you are not worth this energy. Yeah, the world is cyclical behavior. And abuse of power. I just said that. I think this was a woman that was being abused by a leader at the time, and she was trying to scare the fuck out of him. She was practicing witchcraft. I don't think it's as deviant as shape-shifting. I do think that she had some form of telepathic connection with birds, because she was honing in her spiritual gifts. But I don't see anything in terms of shape-shifting. I'm actually seeing someone who's fucking with their husband. Like, I hate you, I'm going to turn into a wolf and eat you. And then she goes out and the animals can sense that she's not going to hurt them. And she works with like an accomplice, because it feels like she met someone in the woods. And it's like, catch that animal, put it in the house. He's gonna, because I just keep being drawn to scenes of movies where it's like an animal's in the middle of the house and it's like, how the fuck did this animal get in this house? Like, that's the vibe. But it's not the wife, because then I see the wife in a different area watching and laughing. So there's no actual shape-shifting, but when I tell you the mental turmoil this man must have went through because of her, Like, I see her, like, you know the song Gone Dust Your Shoulders Off? Like, I just saw her, like, do that on her shoulder and then, like, on her fingernails. It's like, yeah, I did it. Like, this is a proud woman. I do think she practiced witchcraft. I just don't think it's evil, and that's just kind of how they flip it to make people stick with it. You know what I mean? So that it doesn't get lost throughout the years. They exacerbate what was actually happening. I don't think there's much else. One more real quick. Your home life. Tower. I want it to fall apart because of his work practices, and he's a bully. He's an abuser. But it's like, in the public eye, this is how I am, and this is how this is how he is. But behind closed doors, this is how I really am. And then this always reminds me of, like, when a man will abuse you and then he's like, babe, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. So I feel like that's what was really going on. And she got tired of being the happy face, pretending that everything was okay. So it's like, I'm using everything in my power to make sure that I fuck your life up. And I am here for it. Yep, Seven of Wands, I'm going to defend myself. I don't feel loved. I don't feel valued. So how can I... Yep, Ace of Cups. I'm removing my emotions from you, pouring into myself. And then with that Moon card here, it's like, I'm going to expose you one way or another, even if I have to make you feel like you're crazy, whatever it takes. Because remember, the end of Matilda, right? The principal leaves. She's so paranoid by Matilda pretending to be the dead father. So I feel like she did weird modern day witch shit that we could all do. But I do think there was some telepathy going on, and I do think she was a little more elevated than most of us, because back then they didn't have all of the, you know, external things distracting us. So I feel like she could hone her craft better than what we can do today with all this external stimuli. But I don't think it's anything in terms of shape-shifting. I think she met someone in the middle of the woods that was willing to help her. This would be like someone else that felt ostracized too, that felt like they were weird. Because I keep hearing the song, I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. So I feel like there was someone else in the woods that already felt ostracized. So it was like, come join me and we could be outcast together. Like, that's kind of the energy. What's the back deck? Yeah, because I just feel like he was mean and she was waiting on an opportunity to get out of it. Page of Wands, it's like, eventually my time will be to strike. And this also reminds me, when we're talking about wands, we're talking about manifestation with the energy, with the fire. So if this is in reverse, I think it was more of just like a pipe dream so that she could find an opportunity to get away from whoever the fuck she was with at the time. Yeah, because these pages are blocked, so it's like I can't create. Because these are witchy cards, if you think about it. Look at how this Page of Pentacles, she's elevating Earth, and she's got all, look at all the bird imagery. I feel like she had a connection to birds. I feel like she could telepathically connect with birds. I don't know how that works, because I haven't done it, but apparently I think that she could. And I think she also found a resonance in nature that she didn't find with people. I think all empaths can relate to that. So I do feel like she thought that animals were listening to her, which maybe to an extent, but I feel like it was probably more so her spirit team, because it's like, I think animals, because it's reminded me of how, like, empaths, if you're one, you could totally relate to this. Like my cat, always up my ass. She could go anywhere else, but she's always with me. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like animals were drawn to her for her innocence, and she might have thought that that was partly to do with witchcraft, but in reality, this was just an abuse victim trying to get the fuck out. And with Page of Wands reversed, it's like, she didn't have any magic energy. She was just manipulating. You know when people gaslight, you know what it's reminding me of? This would be a great way to end it. You know how you're in a relationship and someone's being so fucking mean to you, and you get to this point where you're like, you want to see a bitch? All right. You want to call me a bitch? You want to see what a bitch is? Bitch, I'll show you. Like, that's kind of the vibe. It's like a boiling up over time and then a snap. And then it's like, all right, I'm a crazy witch. All right. You want to abuse me? All right. You want to keep this shit going? I'll show you crazy. I'll show you. Like, that's the energy of this. And then I think, you know, it almost feels like maybe she made him crazy. Like, literally crazy. Because look, Ten of Pentacles with the Tower, I think that it's like, I got a bone to pick with you, and I'm hearing the song, if we go down, then we go down together. So it's like it's like I got a tunnel vision on ruining your life. Yeah, I just heard it's fuck this shit up on clock. So I do think in the end, she did get him. Because I keep being drawn to that ending scene from Matilda. So I think that he became paranoid. So I'm almost wondering if he's the one who shared this story. Like, maybe she was ousted, but then she ousted him because he was getting paranoid from all the weird shit that she was doing. And I bet that it was her ancestors too. Like, I could see shit like being moved a little bit in the house, but what I'm seeing is like the ancestors fucking with his psyche to help her get him out. And then the story just kind of blew up because what does a man like to do when he's emotionally not intelligent and he got played by a woman? He's met his match, so he made up some sort of exacerbated story. I wouldn't be shocked if the story originated from the guy. Or it could have originated from the chick and then it was exacerbated throughout the years because of what he had to say too. Because if your wife is like, fuck you, I hate this, I promise I'm going to show you I'm turning into a coyote, and then you wake up one morning and there's a coyote at your front door, you might go a little cray-cray. So I think that's really what happened. So I'm going to leave it here, besties. I hope that you have a wonderful Halloween. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this type of reading in the comment section so I know if I should do more of these. You guys can book a reading with me at thekarmicdf.com. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below. Don't forget to check out the description box for for similar readings. But I'm going to leave it here, besties. So have a wonderful spooky season or have a wonderful day whenever.